the wild savannas and brushlands of sub-Saharan Africa lives one of the most powerful apex predators on the planet. Lurking in the tall, golden grasses, lions can be found stalking large terrestrial mammals like zebras, wildebeests, and African buffalo. These majestic carnivores are known by many as the rulers of the animal kingdom, but tens of thousands of years ago, an even more impressive big cat lived almost everywhere in North America. Panthera atrox was a giant pantherine from the late Pleistocene epoch. It is often known as the American lion, though it did not belong to the same species as lions today. Instead, it belonged to a separate lineage that evolved from ancient cave lions in Europe and Asia. It may not have been a true lion, but the American lion was one of the largest felines to have ever walked the earth. Larger males could reach weights exceeding 350 kilograms, or 771 pounds, standing on 4 legs. They measured about 1.2 meters at the shoulder and 2.5 meters from the tip of their nose to the beginning of their tail. Panthera atrox was not only much bigger and heavier than modern lions, but deadlier too. Its bones were thicker, its paws were larger, and its jaws were stronger, well adapted for taking down large herbivores like ancient camels. Its sheer size made this animal a deadly and durable hunter, but it also helped the American lion tolerate more extreme conditions during an extremely cold time on our planet. This ancient species emerged about 130,000 years ago, during a 2.6 million year period of repeated ice ages. Known as the Pleistocene age, these environments would have been hostile for modern lions, but Panthera atrox came from a long line of felines well adapted to colder climates. Its ancestors, known as cave lions, emerged in Eurasia hundreds of thousands of years ago. Spreading across the continent, they dominated both temperate ecosystems, like grasslands and woodlands, as well as colder regions, like northern Europe and Siberia. Around 165,000 years ago, a small population of these cave lions became isolated south of the North American continental ice sheet. There, they discovered a massive new world, brimming with ancient megafauna. Cave lions were already known for hunting Ice Age megafauna across Eurasia, and Panthera atrox filled a similar niche in North America, climbing to the top of its food chain as an exceptional hunter of big game, across steppes, grasslands, and open woodlands. The American lion used its speed and strength to hunt abundant megafauna like deer and horses. However, there were certain animals that even the American lion approached with caution. Colombian mammoths, for example, weighed up to 12 metric tons, and their massive tusks could inflict severe injuries on predators and rivals. These giant animals were dangerous on their own, but they were even more daunting in herds. During the Pleistocene, many large mammals found strength in numbers, forming multi-generational family units. These herding behaviors provided protection for animals living in open ecosystems, forcing carnivores like Panthera atrox to find creative ways of claiming their kills. The American lion hunted many types of herd animals, possibly even mammoths on rare occasions, likely targeting young or sick individuals. Today, lions hunt using stalk and ambush tactics. They slowly creep toward their prey, getting as close as 20 to 30 meters before charging with explosive speed. Panthera atrox was likely an ambush predator too. Instead of chasing its prey over long distances, like spotted hyenas or African wild dogs, it patiently stalked its prey, waiting for the right opportunity to attack with great speed. Using its strong limbs, it may have wrestled its target to the ground, mauling with its claws and crushing the neck of the prey between its sharp teeth. There is scientific debate about whether Panthera atrox hunted in groups. Modern lions frequently hunt alongside members of their pride, employing cooperative strategies to scatter herds and take down larger animals. The American lion may have used similar strategies to hunt giant megafauna during the Pleistocene, though we've uncovered little direct evidence of group hunting behaviors. If, instead, it was a solitary predator, Panthera atrox may have behaved more like a modern-day tiger. Tigers are also ambush predators, relying on stealth, grappling, and sheer size to overpower their prey. Blending into trees and underbrush, they silently stalk their targets until they're close enough to pounce. If American lions hunted alone, they probably targeted young or vulnerable individuals who became isolated from their herds, a strategy consistent with modern solitary predators. Regardless of how it hunted, Panthera atrox became one of the most successful and prevalent predators of the period. As its population grew, it spread across the continent, from the cold tundras of the Yukon to the temperate grasslands of the United States and Mexico. Like many Pleistocene mammals, it probably moved between ranges during warm and cold periods, migrating in response to changes in the climate. It may have tracked the migratory patterns of its prey, ensuring it always had food nearby when the climate took a turn for the worse. By the peak of its dominance, Panthera atrox was among the biggest predators in North America, but it shared its environment with a host of other formidable competitors. During the Pleistocene, the American lion was not the only big cat on the prowl in North America. Another apex predator at that time was a giant, saber-toothed cat called Smilodon. Compared to Panthera atrox, Smilodon fatalis had a shorter and stockier build, weighing up to 280 kilograms or 617 pounds. For bigger males, with a robust body and muscular forelimbs, it was known for grappling with its prey and pinning it to the ground. It then used its blade-like canines to deliver precise and lethal bites to the throat or belly, making short work of many tough prey animals. The hunting grounds of Smilodon fatalis and the American lion probably overlapped during the Pleistocene, but the two animals preferred slightly different kinds of prey. Smilodon's hunting style was better suited for slower, bulkier animals, like ancient bison. These colossal creatures were considerably larger than modern bison, making them rewarding targets for predators like Smilodon, who had the tools to take them down. They may have even preyed on giant armadillos, known as Glyptotherium, which were heavily armored herbivores. American lions could hunt giant prey too, but they often leveraged their speed to hunt faster animals. Even if their diets slightly differed, these fearsome predators almost certainly clashed over carcasses and competed for both prey and territory. Beyond other big cats, Panthera atrox also faced competition from canids like Anocyandares, more commonly known as the dire wolf. Dire wolves were generally smaller and lighter than American lions, but their social skills made them some of the deadliest predators of the Pleistocene. Using coordinated hunting strategies, packs of dire wolves took down creatures much larger than themselves, like ancient bison and Perimilodon, a massive ground sloth. While dire wolves found strength in numbers, individuals or smaller groups were probably pushed around by larger predators. American lion, for example, would have been large and strong enough to bully a few dire wolves away from carcasses, stealing their food or scaring them out of their home territory, while Panthera atrox sometimes threw its weight around. There was one animal from which this ferocious cat kept its distance. Arctodus, also known as the short-faced bear, was a terrifyingly large bear that stood head and shoulders above every terrestrial predator in North America at that time. Standing over 3 meters tall on its hind legs and weighing up to 900 kilograms, the short-faced bear was big enough to tear apart any competitors. While Arctodus had all the makings of an unstoppable hunter, it's unclear how active this giant really was. Recent evidence suggests that Arctodus was an opportunistic omnivore and a frequent scavenger, gathering many of its meals by stealing fresh carcasses from smaller predators. When short-faced bears came along, even the biggest carnivores, like the American lion, had little choice but to surrender their dinner, despite competition from other predators. Panthera atrox was a dominant force in North America for well over 100,000 years. However, its dominance began to waver during the climate fluctuations of the very late Pleistocene. As temperatures increased and glaciers retreated northward, the landscapes of North America transformed dramatically. The vast grasslands and parklands that had supported large herds of herbivores began to fragment and disappear. Common herbivores like mammoths, mastodons, and wild horses died out in great numbers. These die-offs had a rippling impact on the entire ecosystem of North America, including Panthera atrox, which relied on herbivorous animals for food. While the American lion previously endured tough times and climate disruptions, this period stressed its population like never before, and it was made worse by the arrival of a new kind of predator. Between 25,000 and 15,000 years ago, humans were migrating into North America, crossing the Bering Land Bridge and expanding their influence down the western coast. The farther they expanded, the more they disrupted natural ecosystems, contributing to the extinction of many large animals. The American lion disappeared from the fossil record around 12,800 years ago, likely eradicated by a combination of climate transformations and human influence. Like so many other animals at that time, it succumbed to the pressures of its changing world, but its fossils remind us of that remarkable